started. Get your copies while they last. Stop the presses.
And now for something completely different.
There are no safe spaces here. The truth shall make you free. So you want the truth, but can you handle the truth? And what did we learn? Well, here's another fine mess you've gotten us into.
The Craig L. Hayes Show. Just thinking, where we talk about everything else.
Hello, America, family, friends, and listeners all around this planet we call home. This is the Craig L. Hayes Show. Just thinking, where we talk about everything else. And that's the point of this podcast is there is no subject out of line or anything like that. On my other podcast, we talk a little bit about show business, and then on another one, we talk about people in the communities and what it takes to make communities live and survive. So I should advise maybe people or ask that people go out and take a look and listen to those podcasts. It's called It's Showtime, the Craig L. Hayes Show, mainly focused on entertainers and entertainment and the people working in the showbiz industry. And the other one is called Main Street, the Craig L. Hayes Show. Common theme in all that is going to be me, your host, Craig L. Hayes. Anyways, it's the 24th of September, 2025. And we're coming from the Northern Command Center up here in Enterprise, Utah. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm going to talk on a subject today that a lot of people go, oh, you're crazy if you talk like that, because the people that might get a little amped up and worked up about it, and they may do something about it, whatever. I don't really live my life worrying about what others think or what other people will do because of the things I say. There's thousands and thousands and thousands, maybe millions of podcasts out there. And if I say things that you don't like, you know what you can do? You can go find another one. But if you want to sit here and listen to what I have to say and be offended, then you're kind of a moron. Let's face it, you're not too bright. Because if I was getting annoyed with somebody, I turn the channel. That's why, I have hundreds of channels on my TV, and I have lots of stations on streaming. And, if I can't find something I like, I'm sure somewhere I will. I recommend the same to you instead of getting upset. We're going to talk about Islam today. That is the topic, Islam. Oh, boy. Boy, oh boy, do we have some topic on that thing here today. So I want to talk about the violence of Islamists, the Sharia law-loving Islamists. They're different than the people who are believers in Islam. They go into their church systems, their prayers, they do their thing. They want to live in the community. They want to have a nice life. They want to do those people. Welcome to America. The ones that want to overthrow everything, overthrow the Western world, the Western, whatever you want to call it, so they can take over and have Sharia law imposed on everybody throughout the whole world. You're the ones I'm talking about today. You're the evil ones. You are the cult of death believers. You are the pagans, or whatever we want to say about you. And I don't want anybody who is a Christian to sit there and point a finger at the violence of Islam and say if they could just love one another like Jesus taught us, and then they could be Christians like everybody else and just follow Christ. Let's go take a look at the Christian history just a little bit. I am a Christian. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Some people call us Mormons. That's an old nickname from a long time ago. LDS, couple things, whatever. But I have full faith in the Lord Jesus Christ and his redeeming abilities and for the sacrifice he made for me. I know that I have a loving Father in heaven, Jesus Christ, Father, who created this world and all worlds that we see in the heavens. But let's talk a little bit about Christianity. At a certain point, basically lost its mind. About 1,400 years after Jesus had left, we got into what's known as the Spanish Inquisitions, where the Catholic Church and the government all basically forced people to be part of the Catholic Church or to give respect to the Catholic Church. And if you didn't, you were executed, you were tortured, you were, penalized in some way, shape, or form. Remember the number, about 1,400 years after Christ was here. Somewhere around the 600 to 700 AD, Islam and the Muslim faith was started. Go 1,400 years later, you're into the year 2000, right around where we are now, 1,400 years after it started. Seeing any similarities? Seeing something on the same line as Christianity went through some really dark times, really dark, completely against the teachings of Jesus. Love your neighbor. To, you will believe like we do, or we're going to put you to death. Islam, you will believe like we believe, or we're going to put you to death, or we're going to tax you. Do you seeing any similarities? It's the same kind of playbook from the evil one who does these things, from he who has been cast out of heaven for rebellion. He uses the same plans and the same plays and the same everything to take and distort and destroy mankind. So let's talk about that a little bit. I have no belief or anything whatsoever of the Islamic religion. To me, it's a nothing religion. I'm not telling you that's what you have to believe. I'm just telling you, to me, it's a nothing religion. If they want to live in peace and they want to worship God, whatever God that they worship, I would hope it's the same God that I worship, a God of love. But it seems to me that too many of them have this God of vengeance against people who don't believe like they do. History just repeats itself over and over. I just wish it had a good beat. Not a good joke. Anyways, let's have a little chat about something else on that. Christianity has always had problems. Man, the feud between the Catholics and the Protestants, and then you had, Europe was just ablaze with just problems between Catholics and Protestants because, that one time the Catholics had total power and control over Europe. And then some people said, well, I don't think you're following the words of Jesus, and we're going to go and do our own thing, and that could not be allowed. That could not be allowed to happen. That had to be stopped. So wars happened, and all these different things took place, and it's still going on. Ireland, what's the Catholics and the Irish Catholics, Irish Protestants are still at it with each other every so often. Why, guys? It's the same Jesus. It's the same Jesus. Just because you believe a little different than the other guy, why do you have to go to violence against each other? Wow. But isn't that interesting that there's not a lot of love between the Muslim faith either. You have your Sunni, and you have your Shia. And they don't get along either. They all go back to Muhammad as their prophet who began their religious beliefs. But then they split off too. So you have you have your Muslims, and you have your Protestant Muslims, and you have your Catholics, and you have your Protestants, and then we have all these other religions too, with Buddhists and Hindus and whoever else. So many. Why is it that today, though, that all over the world, Catholics and Protestants aren't at each other's throats, wanting to kill each other in every part of the globe? And why did, back in the 15th, 16th, 17th centuries, did that all stop by the Catholic Church, the Inquisitions and all this? Because there was a Reformation. Because the people started realizing, and the leaders of these movements realized that violence was not going to get them anywhere. And they agreed to just disagree. What a concept. What a concept. We're going to agree to disagree, and you believe in Jesus the way you want to, and we'll believe in the way we believe. Well, okay, we'll do that, I guess. There are many factions within the Jewish communities. You have all kinds of different belief systems, several major ones, but several different ones there too. Buddhists have it. I mean, everybody has their differences, but they don't sit there and go to war with each other today because they just have some disagreements on how they should believe. And they don't impose their belief system on anybody else. Unlike Islam, that believes that they have to take and impose it on everybody, and you have to conform. I know that's a generalization. I know that that's not exactly for all of them, the ones that have believed in the Reformation and decided to live their lives according to the concepts of Islam, but not follow all of the words that were written down in the Quran by Muhammad. There can be peace. There can be living together. Doesn't mean we have to believe as each other, but we can live together. Unless you're an Islamist. This problem is just not in Europe. Europe is being inundated with Islamists, radicals, leftists, the Marxists, the communists, the Islamists. They're all joining with each other in trying to overthrow the West. They've been doing this for years, and they're getting sufficient numbers to where they've got governments afraid of them. To where now governments, as we talked about in another episode, governments now imprison their own citizens and people if they say anything about these people that come over here and demand to have Sharia law. Sharia law, all that is law according to Islam, according to the scriptures. Now, our laws are based on Judeo-Christian beliefs, the Ten Commandments, etc., but theirs is very strict. We've seen it before. People, the women have to wear certain outfits and can't be seen. You can't do certain things. If you're a homosexual, you're executed by them. They want their own Sharia law, Sharia courts. Living in the West. Isn't it amazing how they come to the West seeking freedom because they feel persecuted back there. But as soon as they get back there and they get sufficient numbers, they decide they're going to start doing the persecution against other people and want other people to conform and be subject to their laws. Not the laws of the land they moved to, but their laws. We have that in this nation too. We cannot sit there and point over England and laugh, or Europe and laugh, and anywhere else. We have to sit there and point at ourselves and go, why the hell are we allowing this to go on in our country? Why is Dearborn, Michigan being allowed to turn into a Sharia law nation, a city? Why is Minneapolis, Minnesota? Well, Minnesota's lost. Look at the whack job governor you got there, Walz. Tampon Tim. What a whack job. Wow. Why do they feel they have to take and be submissive to those that would destroy us? Because they want to destroy us also. The Governor Tim Walz and the people who want Sharia law in Minnesota are all the same. They want the destruction of the United States to be overthrown. They want us to be overthrown. Don't even get me started with the people, the Palestinians that live here and they have representatives. Talib, I guess is their name is. What a pig. Ugh. What a disgusting person. Absolutely disgusting. That's being mean. I've been trying to be nicer, but that was kind of mean. I apologize. I'll try not to be so mean to people. But anyways, let's get back to this thing. We cannot allow it. Sharia law, Sharia beliefs, and for the most part, Islam does not work in the United States of America. Our Constitution works in the United States of America. Our Bill of Rights, our Declaration of Independence, these are the founding documents of this nation, based on Judeo-Christian, Jewish Christian belief systems. Nothing in our nation, nothing in our government is based on Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, or any other ism. Judeo-Christian values. All others are inferior in their belief systems. But you can believe in it. Go for it. I don't care. But don't tell me I have to follow your beliefs. Don't tell me I need to believe like you. Don't tell me you'll punish me if I don't. No. Pack your bags and go back to whatever nation you came from. Go away. You have the freedom to be who you want here, but you don't have the freedom to tell me I have to believe like you. That's how simple it is. Very simple. The whole point of this, folks, is we have issues going all over the world. This world is on fire, and we're not even seeing it. So many people aren't seeing these things happen because media companies and governments are keeping these things concealed and quiet. Europe is about to fail. Europe is about to be destroyed by those that they've allowed to move into their country and by the communists that have taken over their governments. They are working together to destroy the West, and they're going to succeed. I'm going to put this down. They will succeed in Europe and in England. 10 years, 20 years, if it keeps going the way it is, those nations will all be Islamic faith nations. Are we going to allow that to happen here in this nation? I believe in a loving God that will support us if we fight against it and don't allow such evil to prosper. Islamists, Sharia law, those are death cults. It's a death cult to be in that. They believe in death. Judeo-Christian values are for life, love, respect. Islam has none of those. Theirs is about conquering, infiltrating, taking over, instituting, whatever word you want to use, their belief system on you. And we have idiots in the Democrat Party and the Democrat Party as a whole supporting it. Oh my gosh, what's going on with this country? Anyhow, folks, excuse me. That's about all I have for this episode. I just wanted to point out a couple things that are going on, especially over in Europe and getting too close to the United States and the things that are going on here. And believe me, it's just not those couple cities and states. It's going on in Texas. It's going on in every single state of this union. They are moving into and trying to take over and institute their law according to their Quran, their Bible. If you stand by and just allow it to happen, or if you support it, then you really aren't an American, and you have given up your birthright and your right to be free and your right to have any kind of liberties in this nation, because you're just going to fall in line and go along with whatever happens. It's a shame. Anyhow, folks, that's it for now, so why don't I take it away?
You've been listening to the Craig L. Hayes Show. Just thinking.